What's up, y'all? It's Solo, building a computer for my friend today. My friend Lost Ryu Lincoln, he needs a desktop. See, he's been making a whole bunch of videos on cleaning the guns that I have and doing other projects, and he has like this big old backlog now of a bunch of raw video files. And I gave him a laptop. It's pretty old. It's like 10 years old. Small little laptop. And that poor thing, man, it's not rendering videos well. It crashes, and when it doesn't crash, it takes a very long time. And I kind of feel like he needs a better setup. And luckily, I had another computer, just computer case laying around, and I had some spare parts laying around, and I kind of looked at things. I'm like, all right, I got my motherboard, I got my power supply, I got my video card, got the hard drives, I got the case. Got basically everything. Just need to put it together. Now, this case, it has seen better days. You can see there's rust around here. A rusty computer case. You don't see that too often. But it's okay. I think it's going to work fine for his needs. And if he does well enough on Hive, then he can just buy himself a new computer. This is temporary for him. So anyway, I'm going to put the motherboard in. I also have some peripherals already installed in this computer. Sorry, I just found a dead spider inside. So, I'm going to look at the hard drives, look at the CD-ROM it has, just kind of give it a once-over and then decide what else I want to add. I know I do want to add this SSD. I want to put this in the computer. It's only 32 gigabytes, but really that's all he needs to install the operating system, and then all the other disks he can just save his data to. So that's kind of the plan with this. Give him a fast computer, small little hard drive, but you know, we'll just try to offload everything else onto the other drives and not really install what we can on that. Might be a little harder than you think on Ubuntu, but at least when it comes to storing his files, it should be straightforward. So I'm going to get rid of that dead spider. And next up is going to be wiring in these peripherals. So we have two IDE units here. We have a CD-ROM and a hard drive, and I can run those both off the same channel, though I do need to go find a IDE ribbon cable. You know, just when you don't think you're going to use these things ever again, you find a use for them. These are some old school ribbon cables. Make sure my jumper is set. One of them is set to cable select, so that's good. Other one, I'm not sure. We'll just have to kind of boot it up and see if I need to move some jumpers around. That guy in. I think the motherboard will fit fine with all these things kind of laying around here. But I do want to mount this to a 3.5 inch enclosure. Alright, so its orientation. It's going to be like this. Yeah. Oh shit. How are you supposed to hold the screw in there while you screw that in? Oh boy, let's see. There we go. Oh, I'm using the wrong ones. Alright, I'm like, that's not fitting very well. Ah, okay. These ones are much smaller. This will fit all the way through, I think. Yes. I think that's the right orientation. I think I got that in. Yeah. There we go. First one is usually the hardest. This last one is not cooperating. It's really not necessary. Alright, let me make sure these SATA ports are going to fit. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. What about the SATA power? Is that going to fit? Hate to put all this together and find out, like, you know, things don't fit, right? SATA power gonna fit? Yes. Alright, we're in good shape. Alright. I am going to mount. Right here would be good. think I have to slide out this hard drive cage to install this drive. I think it's screwed in underneath. That sucks. No, it's not. Okay. It's just, I think it's only designed to go outward. Gotta move this motherboard. I don't remember how I actually mounted this before. Okay. Alright, I think I can do it. It's just going to be out of the view of the camera, unfortunately. There we go. I just screwed them in on one side. It is not even a mechanical hard drive. I'm really not worried about it coming loose or wobbling or anything like that because it's a solid state drive. Now getting this screw back in, that might be hell. Power screwdriver. Man, this bit is not being very friendly. Change it. Just kind of evening out on the other side. Alright. Damn it. We were going to install a second drive. I didn't do that. Then again, we can just use this thing. Yes, I'm just going to use this thing. So I realize you can't see what I'm referring to. I have a removable hard drive bay. And using that, I think I'll make this work. Seems like the mechanism's not working now, though. That could be a problem. I don't think a hard drive has to be in for it to close properly. I think it should be able to close with a drive in or a drive out. This is no good. Well, I think we're gonna have to put in a drive in and pull that screw back out. Alright, so let's find that hard drive. 500 GB should be helpful. Gotta put screws in this one too. This time I'm gonna use the right screw. Oh, are you not magnetic? Alright, buddy. Where's my magnetize? For whatever reason, my bit is not magnetizing to the screw, but I can always just do it by hand. Alright, got one. You know, I didn't test this hard drive before, but it's not marked dead, so I think it's good. Now let's try to put that screw back in. Alright, I'm going with just one because that is hell. Don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I have them upside down from previous build. I don't know. Anyway, we got the hard drives in. Now we actually have 3. I just don't really know what the deal with the IDE is, so it should be good. It should all be good. Now I'm just kind of making room for everything here. And I think next it would be a good idea to install the motherboard. And then I think the power supply, because once I put the power supply and I put the wires in, it's going to be kind of hard to rearrange this motherboard. And we already have standoffs for them, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Oh, I am going the wrong direction. Alright, looking good. Yeah, since my magnetic bit is having trouble, I'm just going to put these in by hand. Or at least start them. And then I'll come back because you don't really need a magnetic bit once the bits are started. So, this computer's previous life was living in a milk crate. It was my seasonal Mason Bee webcam computer. So its only job was to broadcast my webcam feed of my Mason Bees. And I don't think I'm going to do that this year. It didn't get a lot of attention, and I think putting the bandwidth and the work into setting up that and managing it, it's okay. So I just took that computer apart, and now Ryu Lincoln should have a pretty decent video editing rig. What we're going to do is install Ubuntu on this computer and use Kdenlive. Kdenlive is an open source, or at least a free version of a video editor. Just like you can use GIMP instead of Photoshop, you can use Kdenlive instead of Premiere. Because if he wanted to buy a copy of Premiere, it would set him back hundreds of dollars. And you know, the poor guy's already short on cash. So, you know, I just say, let's show you how to use these free versions, and one day, if you're doing good, buy yourself a new computer. Maybe buy yourself the expensive package for Photoshop and Premiere. But you know, honestly, I'm more of a fan of GIMP. Like, I've been using GIMP now for a few years, and I prefer it over Photoshop. So maybe I'll turn them over to the free version of it. Stick. Alright, put in the hardest screw here, all the way in the upper left corner. This gigantic heatsink is not making my life any easier, and I have a feeling my fingers are gonna get cut up trying to shove that power connector in. So I might use some pliers, because man, those heatsink fins are sharp. All right. It looks like the fans are Molex connectors, so I won't be plugging them in there. The case, the faceplate is, so I'll plug that in. But all the others will just connect to the Molex connectors on the power supply. So this is USB. I'm going to plug in the USB headers so his ports on the front work. Where are they? Looking. Haha. Okay, right here. So we just connect it in there like that. have also the audio. Where is that? It's the second pin. Okay, it's this one over here. You can kind of figure out which ones it is by looking at the pins on it. And that's going to tell you which connector it goes to, because they're unique to each. Makes life a little easier. Alright, that's in. And we need to plug in our SATA. We actually have two SATAs. Need to plug in both of those. Now I'm not sure if any of these SATA ports are damaged. Sometimes they are, and I don't remember which one's what. And I should also plug in that IDE cable before I start bringing in the power supply and all that stuff. So these only go in one way. There's a little tab on the bottom. Man, that might be the last time I ever plug in an IDE connector. Probably not, but man, those are old. That is old technology, my friend. I'm kind of glad to get rid of all this old tech. You know, he can have it. When he's done, he does not have to give me this computer back. He can sell it to someone else, or I don't know, give it to someone in need, I guess. Alright, so I think I should plug in the powers on the drives first, especially for this this SSD over here, because it's going to be really hard to reach in a few minutes. So I can always connect all the headers first, so maybe we should plug in the power and reset switch and stuff before the power supply is there. So this first one is the hard drive LED. They do not mark polarity. Thanks a lot for that case. Power LED, there is none. So we just have a reset and power. So we're going to plug in that reset. I don't think polarity matters for reset and power, it just does for the lights. So we'll just kind of plug them in and go from there. Oh, I see a little arrow on the bottom. Maybe that's the polarity issue. That's how you know what it is. Well, let's see. Well, if positive is the pointer, then I put the hard drive LED in upside down. So plug that in. Probably be smart to power it up and see if the LEDs work. If not, it really does not matter. That is purely aesthetic. Alright, let's put that it's time to put that power supply in. Firewire. He's never ever gonna use firewire unless he's hooking up to a Mac or something. But just in case, you know, if you got it, plug it in. You should definitely plug them in. Definitely think I should try these two ports, because I only need two SATA ports. I'm only using two drives that are SATA, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. And now we're going to put in the power supply. Alright, this thing is a 680 watt, which is way more than what he needs, but it's alright. So I'm putting it in the orientation where the fan's pointing up. Fortunately, you don't get to see all the fancy writing on it. I need to take the screw out. Alright, time to mount this puppy. There we go. I do apologize if some of this is out of frame. When I'm doing large projects like this, I can't zoom out any further. So when I move to Virginia, I'm going to have to rethink many of my video binges where I'm doing videos and stuff. So, you know, I'm probably going to leave it as is for now, but eventually I'm going to have to do a better setup than this. That was the last one I had, so it's in there nicely. Alright, so I think we should hook up the core motherboard components first, and then move on to the peripherals, including the video card. Alright, we did say we're going to get some pliers so we don't cut my knuckles up trying to connect this, because I do not have small hands. That is not going to work. I need some needle nose pliers. This should work. This should work. So what I usually do is my system. Let's see if I can get this in frame a little better. I usually just kind of line them up on the connector and then just push it down with the needle nose. And they usually just pop into place. Click. Man, I might need to go recruit Lovely Logic for her small hands. I can't get this myself. Man, that heatsink really makes this just hell, man. Probably be easier if I just took this case fan out. Got very little room to work with. Alright, hopefully that frees up space for my big old hands. You know, they're two separate connectors, and that's what makes this a little difficult. do have to plug these in. This is a requirement for this motherboard. Even if it's just absolute hell trying to get it plugged in. Maybe I should have done this before I screwed in the motherboard. But, you know, live and learn, right? There we go, okay. We are in. And never coming out ever again. Alright. Time to put the fan back in because this computer probably will get pretty hot. So I'm just going to start it, and then I'm going to use my power screwdriver. Alright, it's all back in. So, we got the power supply in. We have the most difficult of connectors plugged in. Should be all downhill from here, right? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and finger tighten these screws. I don't think I need to come back to them with the power screwdriver. Now, I hate to crack this motherboard. I had a handheld screwdriver, but its battery died after a good 10 years. And yeah, I don't have a good alternative for it. Probably need to find a new battery for it, because it still works, motor and everything. It's just those batteries are the weak link in these systems. Man, that case really got me a little confused there. I haven't used this case. It's been sitting in the corner for years. So definitely had to think about that for a minute. And alright, so I got 2 cables there, 2 Molexes needed. These things as well are becoming quite obsolete. But this is what powers the case fans. So we need to plug power into these. There we go. And we still have one for the CD-ROM. We need another for the hard drive. Now this is not a modular power supply, so all I can really do is tuck the wires in that I don't use. Modular is nice, as you can just plug in only the peripheral power connectors that you need. But No, nothing that fancy for this computer. Alright, next is to plug in the power for that 2.5-inch SSD. A little 32 gigabyte drive. And need to provide power to this one below. Alright, plug the SATA connector back in, and now we need to plug a SATA connector into this 2.5-inch drive. Alright, it's plugged in. I hope everything detects and works on the first post, but I guess we shall truly see. Oh, that is an unhappy screw sound. I'm just putting a screw in that removable drive bay because it's kind of flopping around. Alright. So, I hope the SATA connectors are working. We're going to just find out when I power it up. Hopefully the wiring for the hard drive light or the power light, whatever it was, hopefully that all works. Hopefully power switches work. And now we just need to put the video card in. Just have this little video card. It's a 2 gigabyte R7 360. So it's pretty basic, but hey man, you know, that's all you need. And for, I believe for Kden Live, it does not use CUDA. So it wouldn't even really help it to have a really powerful video card. This is probably going to be 100% CPU rendering. And also, I believe this is a Radeon card, so it may, CUDA might not even be an option anyway. This audio connector is a little bit in the way. Yeah, you know what, we're not going to be able to use that. If he wants audio, he's just going to have to plug into the back of it. Because that video card is not sitting right with it in there. This feels like it's sitting much better. Okay, well sorry buddy, no audio port in the front for you. I don't want to put the video card too low down because then it's going to conflict with the power supply fan. But if we have to pick between prematurely burning out a power supply or a video card versus him not having a front audio port, I think I'm going to go with not having a front audio port. Alright. I'm just going to put one screw in for now. There's a chance I'm going to have to take this thing apart because you never know exactly how things are going to go until you power them on. sometimes you get lucky and things just work on the first try. Right now I'm just kind of moving wires around so nothing is rubbing on the fans. And I'm just going to leave the front panel off for testing. So we should have 3 hard drives come up. Should be able to see 3. In theory. Alright, I'm going to get this all plugged in. I'll get back to y'all in a few minutes. Alright, well, the computer powered up without any issues. The LED indicators were all good. The reset switch works. The power switch works. The fans are all set up. Nothing's really rubbing against each other. It's in good shape. So I went ahead and I installed Ubuntu on it, and I got all the software loaded, and it is ready to go. So I'm really looking forward to my friend getting a better computer to edit videos on. As trying to edit on laptops, man, that's rough. Unless you got like a gaming laptop with a 4K display, like, or a 2K. I mean, this thing is probably not even 720p. And it just makes the whole layout on the laptop really hard to do video editing. So finally he got a computer. He's gonna pick it up later, and I'm glad. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Till next time, see you later.